Good morning. So our little Star, the goat, has been showing a lot more signs that she might be actually the March 3rd due date instead. And today is March 3rd. So we've been locking them in at night because they've been trying to sleep outside. It's currently 7-ish in the morning. I haven't even had breakfast, haven't even fed the kids breakfast yet. I'm coming out to check on her and just see how she's doing. She started bagging up a lot more and getting a lot more goopy and stretchy. So, go see her pregnant. But she looks just as uncomfortable as she did yesterday. So, we'll keep keeping an eye on her. I was thinking maybe she was just gonna be on with everybody else and do the March 23rd date. But she spent pretty much her entire day yesterday just laying down. And every time I was out there, she was just laying down in the hay instead of eating the hay, and she wasn't even chewing her cud. So keep an eye on her, and we'll see what happens. Results are doing good. Star's still looking really close. So we put a little bit more straw down in here and loaded it down in there. They'll have to organize it how they want. So we've got plenty of fresh bedding. Look at those babies. So, I don't think you can see me, but you can hear me. Just on my way out to check on Star. It's about 10 p.m. We went out to check on her at about 9, and they both looked very fresh. So we're figuring between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. she probably had them. So I am making sure that they are up and dry and sucking because it's about -5 right now. My biggest concern was that she still had some stuff hanging out the back, and I wasn't sure if it was another bag of waters for another baby or if it was just her afterbirth. It could be just the afterbirth. So I want to go out here, check on them again, make sure she's doing okay. Just after birth. She is eating it, which is really, really good. Babies are up. They look frisky, ready to go. So once Mama is all done cleaning herself up, I'll just make sure that these little guys have something to drink. Got a good suck, eh? Your tummy doesn't feel as bad. Your brother's still a little skinny. So it is 2-something in the morning. I just helped these ones nurse Kicked them back out. Star is not 100% convinced those are her babies. So I'm leaving them in there in the dark. Had to tie her to get them latched on. Once they're latched on though, she's pretty good and she just kind of stands there, but she's still like, she just has no idea what these things are. So I'm hoping maybe in the daylight it'll be a little easier. So I'm gonna have to be back out here in 4 hours to feed these little guys again. Good morning. It's just about 7 o'clock in the morning, so it's time to go check again. I have Farmer Joe with me. She doesn't know yet, so I wanted to keep it a surprise. She just got out of bed, so we have the sleigh this morning because she's not exactly cheerful or awake yet. But I know she's gonna be really excited, and I couldn't wait. So we'll see what happens. Okay, Farmer Joe, does Star look skinny? Why don't you go check inside the shelter? You gonna go check inside, see what's in there? Let me come with you. We'll turn on a flashlight. Come look. What are those? What are those? What is that? What are they, Joe? What happened? Does she have babies?
Do you have babies?
Are those her babies? Yeah. They need milk. They look hungry. That's a little girl. Is she? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. She look good?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, good.
Oh, good. What do you think, Joe? Are you pretty cute?
I see them.
Yeah, she's got a belly. She doesn't have a big belly like her brother. That's her little girl, yeah. And that's her little boy. Is he getting milk? Oh, good. Yep, that one's all done. She's all done breakfast. How was he? Oh, good. Yes, it is. It's a little girl and a little boy. He's all done his breakfast. You're starting to get playful, Joe. Starting to get excited. Hi, little miss. Yes, you may have the camera. You show everybody your new goats.
Rest, please. I see Jordan. See Jordan.
So, Mama Goat seems like she's starting to take a liking to the babies a little bit. Still having to go out every 4 hours and make sure they're sucking. So far, they haven't sucked on their own. I've been having to help them and latch them. So, I'm really hoping at some point today they're going to figure it out so that I don't have to be up every 4 hours tonight. But I probably will anyways, just to make sure. This is something that's really, really common and a normal problem with first-time moms. They just don't really know what exactly is happening and what exactly they're supposed to do all the time. So last night was not looking very hopeful. She didn't want the babies. I had to tie her up, tie her down to get the babies to latch. But this morning with some grain, she just stood there and let them suck. And earlier when me and Farmer Joe came out to check them, they were happily standing up, getting excited, starting to feel a little bit more energized. And she definitely seemed to have a lot more maternal instinct and was showing a lot more signs that those are her babies and that she wanted us to give her space. So that's all good things. So I'm going to come check her again and see if we need to get these babies latched on. Is that yours, Mama? Oh, good girl. Got the little Billy latched on. Okay, I started a project and I'm trying to hurry, so I wasn't really filming it, but I figured I should maybe film some of the process because it might come in handy and you guys would probably enjoy it. So this was a pallet, just a normal pallet. There's the other part of it there. I just sawed off along the center brace here. Just cut it off there. So then you just have this piece here. This pallet, the spaces were too wide in between. So that's what I'm putting boards on right now in between to fill all the gaps so their feet don't fall through. All right. That is what I ended up with after filling all of the gaps. Now it's time to just build some bars to make sure they don't get out and a headpiece to lock them in, and she's ready to go. Got all my brace boards up. Now I just need to put the boards this way across to keep her locked in and work on the headpiece with the bolts. All right. It's starting to look really nice. Now just got to do the bolts for the head lock.
Feeling good.
No, I think she's ate enough already. She's all done. So this is how well it works, you guys. I have been fighting and struggling to get her. It's working amazing. She's locked in there. She's got some grain. I'm going to need to make some sort of little stool to hold the grain for her. But the kids, look at her little belly. I'm pretty sure they've ate already since I've been here. So I think they're starting to fight for it. She hasn't kicked them or nothing once. It is going so much better than it did earlier today, you guys. We are so hopeful that she's going to take these babies. She's definitely talking to them more. And they seem a little bit more spry, so... Oh, it's okay, sweetie. Joe doesn't like it when they sleep all day. She wants to play with them all day. Oh, so exciting. You want to hold the camera?
Yes.
Okay, you go show everybody your goats. Get your fingers out of it. Move your fingers. They've been excited and wanting to play. I can see they both have some poop hanging off their butt. I've been seeing them pee, which is all amazing signs. Mom has been really good, licking them, loving on them. This is the best they have been, and it's been almost 24 hours, so I am so excited. Guys, I can't even begin to tell you how happy I am that things are going well with them. It was not looking hopeful this morning at 2 a.m. trying to get them, and she was charging them and didn't want anything to do with them. So to see them happy and playing and pooping and peeing is just, it makes me so happy that it's going to work out and that she's going to take them. Farming is one of those things that's always a bit of a whirlwind, and I'm really thankful that with our first goat kids, they're healthy, they're moving, they're running, they're playing, they're doing all the things that little baby goats should. So I'm really hoping that this is the light at the end of the tunnel and that it will go well. I reached out to quite a few other local farmers that raise goats to ask them kind of what their experience is, and all of them said this is totally normal first time mom goat behavior, it's pretty typical for them to struggle. And I mean, most species kind of have this problem. It's really hard for them the first time to kind of grasp it and understand. And so I'm hopeful that this is going to work out and that Star will keep her little babies and keep them nursing. So there's still one more feed before bedtime for everybody. So I'm going to go out again in a couple hours and just make sure, see how they're doing. At this feed, they were not really interested in eating and their bellies already seemed full, which tells me that they must have figured it out. And the kids are strong enough and aggressive enough that I was hoping that maybe that would happen. And you're supposed to check them every 4 hours. I ended up, because I was making that fancy little stanchion, and it ended up being 5 hours. And I was hopeful that that extra hour was enough for them to try and start working it out and figuring it out. They're not even 24 hours old yet. So I am really excited and I'm really happy that things are going the way that they are. It was one of those things where during the whole pregnancy, I was really nervous about our goats kidding. I was worried that something would happen and I'd have to pull kids or they would get stuck or something would happen. That was my biggest fear. And it never even occurred to me that maybe they wouldn't suck or they'd need bottles or anything like that. That never even was a thought. So it was a bit of a shocker when they came out and it was like, oh, I need to figure out and get these babies latching. And thank goodness, because my in-laws raise cattle, I had seen it done and kind of knew what to do to get babies latched onto moms. And so I'm thankful for that experience and for my wonderful in-laws and all that I've learned from that farming to be able to use it for these first-time goats on the farm. Forgot to mention, I got these awesome overalls. They came in the mail yesterday, which was perfect because I have been crawling around on my hands and knees in that goat pen with those goat babies, and it has been so nice to not have to worry about what I'm wearing and doing the night checks. I could just throw them on and then over top of my pajamas and then peel them off when I got in the house and all my clothes were clean and I could just crawl back into bed. It has been lovely. Best investment. I'm so glad I decided to get some overalls. It has egg pockets. One on each side. Look at that. These little ones are getting really good. Now I can just put them there. As you can see, she just doesn't stand when she's loose, but the second I put her in here, she just lets them suck. It's the weirdest thing. I've been trying to make them try and find it as much as possible. You can see the little guy struggle in there. because the more they find it, the more likely they'll be able to find it without me here. Star has definitely been really sad about this situation, that she has to be in here and her mom and sister are out there. She's been locked in here now. This will be the 3rd day, and she's definitely having a hard time with it. But I felt really bad about it, but I talked to another local goat lady that said, too bad, so sad. If she's not in here locked in, her babies will die, or they'll have to be bottle fed, and she'd still have to be ran in here multiple times a day to be milked. So it's better off for her to be sad right now and learn how to connect and bond and feed these babies so that she can go happily on her way, and the babies will be happy too. They're a little bit full of beans right now. They keep bouncing around on the stanchion. Looks like it's starting to be sleepy time for little Aster there. So, today is the moment of truth. We have these 3 milk goats, and I have never tasted goat milk. So, we wanted to milk out Star a little bit today, just because she looked kind of full. So, it's been strained, and it's nice and cold, and so here goes nothing. Ooh, it's way creamier than cow's milk. I actually like it a lot. Oh, yeah, I definitely am gonna get used to drinking this every day. Go. Have some goat milk. What do you think? Is it good? Does it taste good? What do you think? That's milk from Star. That's Star's milk. Does it taste good?
That's from me, Star milk.
That's Star's milk. Does it taste good?
That's from cow milk.
No, that's goat milk.
Oh, that's goat milk.
Yeah? Does it taste good?
Yes.
Oh, good. So last night was the first night that I didn't get up and do night checks. And this morning, when I got in here, they were both running and kicking and playing. And little Astro definitely felt like he had something in his belly. Aster, I'm not sure if she definitely seemed like she had eaten something in the night, but she was hungry. So letting them have a little nurse. Mom is not in the headlock. She's just having some grain. Last night when we came out, we didn't even have to put her head in the headlock, and we had no grain, and she stood here. So I think she's starting to feed them a little bit on her own and just gets a little bit nervous when I'm here. So I'll see how she does throughout the day and just kind of keep an eye on her. And then hopefully maybe tomorrow we can open the door so that she can be back with the herd. I'm so happy with the progress we're making with those goats. I was so happy to see that this morning, after an entire night and me not going out there, that they had a little bit of something in their bellies and they were happy and ready and playing and kicking. So it's not going to be long. One thing that I did do that I didn't really talk about a lot is starting yesterday, instead of me actually like helping the kids latch every time, I would just put them back there. I just put them back by her udder and let them fight for it and find it. And for the most part, they'd find it pretty much right away. So I knew that they were capable of it, so that I gave them a fair chance that when I wasn't there, they at least knew what they were doing and where to go. So I think that helped a lot. And then just trying to trust Mom more and more and try to get the babies on without the stanchion. If she doesn't without the stanchion, then just walk her up into the stanchion. And if she's still wanting to fiddle, then I can lock her head in. But so far, just putting her in the stanchion, she'll just stand there and let them eat, and it's never been a problem. She hasn't kicked them in 2 days. So she's only being funny and walks away from them when she's not standing in the stanchion. But the second she's in the stanchion, she stands great. So I'm still not 100% convinced to let her out yet. So hopefully in the next day or two, I'll be able to really tell that the babies are eating without me. I know for the most part, it looks like they are getting a little bit of something to eat, and they're not really eating very much or as long when I am going out there as what they were before. So I think they are definitely getting something, but I don't know if it's enough for them to survive without me intervening. So I'm going to keep going out during the day today and just making sure that they're getting something to eat. All right, here they are. They're all healthy and playing now. This is our little Aster, and this one is Astro.
No.
What do you think? Okay, we'll put that.